The fight has ended, the dust has settled, and the MMA world is buzzing.
Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira for the heavyweight world championship at the fucking White House. Main event.
Here we go, round one. We're doing it. Oh my God, he's coming out. Let's go. Let's go. Knock his ass out in the first round, baby.
Oh, getting after right away. Yeah, Jesus. Oh,
there we go.
He's hurt.
Nice down block.
Nice, bud. Nice.
Whoa.
Let's go, baby. Don't pee yourself out.
No, bro, these are gonna be heavy.
Pick those shots. Don't pour a bunch of. Oh.
12 to 6. That's legal. Stop it. He might stop it.
Holy. Holy. Who said what owl will be knocked out in the first round? This guy did.
Yep,
huh?
we picked
That's
it.
right. Did you really?
Holy. Chama's
Nice.
back. Chama is back.
Look at that.
Just calm. Dude, Pereira came out aggressive. Ooh, big right hand from Pereira. He hurt Ankalaev. He's throwing hammer fist. He's covering up here. He's blocking. He's covering up. He's surviving here. What's he doing? Don't you stop it, Herb. Don't you dare stop it. He's blocking this. Herb jumps in. What? What? Why would he jump in there? He was blocking everything. I'm done. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's a crazy win for Pereira. Hurt him with a right hand. Blocked every shot on the ground, but Ank's got to move. That's insane. That's insane. Pereira wins. Got to be Ulberg next, I guess. That's fucking insane, man. Herb just jumped in.
Right hand from Alex wobbles Ank. He's wobbled. Ankalaev's wobbled in round one. Big shots from Alex on top. Big shots from Alex on top. Stop it, Herb, please. Big shots from Alex on top in round one. Ankalaev's really badly hurt. Big elbows. It's going to be over. It's going to be over. It's going to be over. Herb fucking step in. Let's go. Fuck that fucking freak. Humanity. Humanity. Ridicule that goblin freak. You big gnome. Thick off. Let's go. Let's go. Humiliate that fucking gnome. Let's go, Alex. That fucking freak. Chama. Chama. Let's go. Yes. Heavyweight, Tom, fulfill your deal. Fulfill your deal, Tom Aspinall. And I want to see Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira for the heavyweight world championship at the fucking White House. Main event. Alex Pereira, Tom Aspinall, heavyweight undisputed world championship. The chance for 3 belts at the White House in June.
People love him. People love the way he fights, and you can't be bummed out with the way he performed this evening. So today I was at work and had a bunch of meetings over there this afternoon, and I went over to the PI, and he was over in the PI. And I'm like, well, you're the last guy I expected to see here today. What are you doing here? And they're telling me we want to fight a heavyweight. I said, how about we win tonight and focus on tonight, and then we could talk about, heavyweight. And I don't know. There's still fights here in this division. But we'll see. I mean, this guy has been an absolute stud for us. He's on vacation in Australia, flies over and fights because, somebody fell out. He fights when he's hurt. He doesn't care. He wants to fight everybody. He wants to move up to heavyweight.
Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev stepped into the octagon at UFC 320, and what unfolded has already gone down as one of the most talked about clashes of the year. Fans, analysts, and fighters themselves are now weighing in with their raw reactions. But before the cage door closed, the build-up to this fight was just as dramatic. Experts from across the MMA world gave their final predictions, and the debate was as heated as the fight itself. Looking back, the way the analysts broke things down tells us just how unpredictable and fascinating this rematch truly was.
Something else that we've seen as well with Ankalaev. So to my knowledge at least, and I don't know Alex Pereira and his team personally, so I don't know, but he started grappling in his late 20s / early 30s.
Yeah.
Now, he for sure trains hard. He's a multiple weight world champion. The guy must train grappling most, if not every day. So his grappling level is going to be very high, regardless if he's been doing it since he was in his 30s or 20s or whatever.
But Ankalaev's been doing it since he was a baby.
Ankalaev's been doing it since he was at least 10 years old.
Yeah.
And the conditioning, you know, you can be as fit as you want. You can grapple every day for 5, 10 years, whatever. Your conditioning will be up there, but against a guy who's been doing it for 20+ years, every day.
Michael Bisping had been one of the first to share his thoughts. True to his style, he broke the fight down with detail and intensity. Bisping had argued that Pereira needed to enter this rematch with absolute hunger. In his view, Pereira could not afford to be forced backward. If Ankalaev succeeded in pushing him onto the back foot, Pereira's chances of winning would shrink dramatically. Bisping reminded everyone that Ankalaev had already exposed cracks in Pereira's aura during their first meeting. He predicted that with an even sharper mindset, Ankalaev would have the edge in the rematch.
Pereira's got to be hungry. He's got to be dangerous. He's got to go forward. He's got to pull the trigger, and he's got to be first. He can't allow himself to get pushed back against Ankalaev. If he does that, he's going to lose another fight.
Bisping saw the fight playing out in Ankalaev's favor from the opening round onward. He expected the Dagestani fighter to dominate with relentless pressure, clean striking, and wrestling control. Still, he did not completely dismiss Pereira. He admitted that with Pereira's kickboxing background, a knockout could arrive at any moment, even late in the fight. Yet his overall pick leaned towards Ankalaev as the man likely to leave the octagon victorious.
He can't allow himself to get pushed back against Ankalaev. If he does that, he's going to lose another fight. Now, I believe to a certain degree for Magomed Ankalaev, the aura of Alex Pereira has gone. He now knows this man's human. I can beat him. I've taken his best shots. I can take him down. I beat him once before and I'll beat him again. And that's why we've seen Alex Pereira coming out and talking shit and saying that he was hiding from him and all the rest of it, because there's a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Alex Pereira.
Aí o cara fala para dessa e se escondendo, velho. Cuzão, velho, cara, velho.
Not pressure in terms of his lifestyle, not in terms of money, not in terms of his legacy, because that's all set. He's had a great career, but he wants to beat this guy, okay? And I think there's a little bit where Ankalaev is in his head. He's like, this guy's as big as me. He's stronger than me. He's a better wrestler than me. He might even hit harder than me, and he just beat me. You know what I'm saying? You put all that together, Alex Pereira's like, I've got a real challenge on my hands here. Who wins this fight? I think it's going to be the same way. I think Magomed Ankalaev, because of the wrestling, will force Pereira back up against the fence. I think we'll see a lot of control time. I think we'll see Magomed Ankalaev landing some big shots just like we did last time. I think it's just going to be a continuation of the first fight, round 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Will it get to the 10th round? I don't know. Alex Pereira is not an easy man to finish. Of course, he's got an extensive resume in kickboxing. He's got a solid chin. He ain't no pussy, and he ain't like been knocked out. He's not damaged goods or anything like that. The reality is styles make fights, and Ankalaev can take his shots, he can land the shots, he can take him down, he can pressure him. He's got more ways to win, and that's going to overload the mind of Alex Pereira. Remember, he was a kickboxer. He hasn't been doing the grappling side of things too long. And even though Ankalaev...
Then came Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson's take. Johnson had approached the fight with his usual tactical eye, recalling Pereira's use of calf kicks in his previous bout against Jamahal Hill. He suspected Pereira would once again lean on those weapons to disrupt Ankalaev's rhythm. For Johnson, Pereira's best chance lay in chopping down Ankalaev's legs early and then unleashing his striking arsenal.
And each time Pereira would do that, Ankalaev's southpaw, he would hit and he would go off the arc. So if I wanted to respond to that, I can't hit him because Alex Pereira is over there. He needs to get back to doing that, because when he did that in the first fight, he took no damage whatsoever, and after the 5th to 6th one, he was starting to get a response from Magomed Ankalaev. When you look at all Alex Pereira's fights, when he fought Khalil Rountree, when he fought Yuri Prochazka, when he fought Jamal Hill, he'll always start with attacking that calf kick. Those guys are orthodox and southpaw, but he'll attack the calf kick, and once he starts attacking the calf kick, he starts getting a response. He gets the person throwing the right hand, he slips 2-3, and then he gets in that flow state.
But Johnson had also been clear about Ankalaev's path to victory. He emphasized that Ankalaev needed to stay disciplined, use his jab to the body, mix up his targets, and press Pereira against the cage to work for takedowns. However, despite this detailed roadmap for Ankalaev, Johnson surprised many by picking Pereira to win. He argued that Pereira had learned from the first fight, had looked sharper in training footage, and was ready to make the right adjustments. In Johnson's eyes, that tipped the balance in favor of Pereira.
Key to victory number 1, he needs to be disciplined like he was in the first fight. You have to address that leg kick a lot sooner, and you also have to be changing your targets, jab to the body, right hand to the head, and then if Alex Pereira does throw that leg kick, why not try to do a takedown off of that, right? That's key victory number 1. Key to victory number 2, put Alex Pereira against the cage, stifle him. Because when you put him against the cage and you stifle him, we saw his energy consumption go from here down more. Because once he got his back off the cage, he wasn't as mobile. So I think key to victory number 2 is you got to put his back against the cage, stifle him. That way when he does expend energy to get off the cage, he is not as fast and quick and crisp like he always is.
Jamal Hill, who knew both fighters well, had predicted a closer, more competitive rematch. Hill respected Pereira's ability to adjust mid-fight and believed he could find answers if things weren't going his way. But he also recognized Ankalaev's grinding style, the relentlessness that made him difficult to overcome. Hill's prediction was less about certainty and more about adaptability. He explained that if Pereira read Ankalaev's moves quickly, he might pull off the win. If not, Ankalaev would likely impose his pace and take control once again.
Where he can make himself more of a headache and give Ankalaev more problems, mainly in the kicks. I believe if Pereira comes out and he's more kick heavy and he works behind his kicks more and puts more emphasis on landing kicks, I believe that it can switch up the fight a little bit. We can see it a little bit different.
Alexander Volkanovski had added another layer to the discussion. Analyzing the tape, he praised Ankalaev's versatility, particularly his ability to switch stances and fight primarily as a southpaw. Volkanovski argued that this adaptability gave Ankalaev defensive advantages, making it harder for Pereira to land clean shots. He believed southpaw fighters often posed problems for opponents, and Pereira could struggle with that same puzzle.
Ankalaev showed me just then, watching a bit of the tape, that he can mix it up, change his looks, even change his stances. He's obviously predominantly southpaw, but change his stances, that what suits him defensively. Very wary of where he is, where the danger is. When he's a little more safe, where he can maybe win some of have a bit of octagon control himself here and there. Again, very wary of all that sort of stuff, and that's going to be a major factor. Southpaw, again, I feel like Pereira can still do some great work, but if people are very effective with southpaw, it can make it a little bit harder for Pereira. That's all I'm saying. Doesn't mean that he loses every time he gets southpaw.
Volkanovski leaned firmly towards Ankalaev in his prediction. He foresaw Ankalaev using his wrestling more heavily this time, not necessarily scoring takedowns every round, but controlling space, keeping Pereira off balance, and winning on points. In his eyes, Ankalaev was likely to grind out a 5-round decision. While acknowledging Pereira's knockout potential, Volkanovski's confidence lay with Ankalaev's discipline and cage control.
I'm picking, if you're just picking on who's going to win this, I think Ankalaev does it again. I think he's going to be more wrestle heavy. Will he get the takedowns? No, but he's safe enough on the feet to just constantly get himself out of danger. He's going to be fit enough. You know what I mean? So when there's danger and if Pereira's doing a great job, he can stick to him a little bit, then get himself back there, get him out of danger, win back that octagon control, do enough to just win 5-round decision. So I'm going to have to go with Ankalaev for the win. Can Pereira get the knockout? 100%. But I think Ankalaev wins.
Then came Dricus du Plessis, who shook things up with his perspective. He admired Pereira's forward-moving, high-risk, high-reward style, and he recalled how Ankalaev neutralized him in the first fight by keeping him out of range and smothering him up close. Du Plessis emphasized that Pereira looked uncomfortable when forced backward, and Ankalaev had taken advantage of that weakness.
Yeah, the thing with Pereira is he's a bully fighter in the sense where he walks you down, he's intimidating, because he hits so hard, he doesn't care if he walks into the fire. And Ankalaev was smart in the first fight to stay away and then get all the way in to smother him and get his back, put him on the back foot. You don't, when Pereira's on the back foot, he's not the best. That's not his style.
Yet du Plessis was skeptical about Ankalaev repeating the same formula. He openly doubted Ankalaev's idea of standing and striking with Pereira, warning that such a choice would end badly. For du Plessis, the fight wasn't going the distance. He boldly predicted that Pereira's power and pressure would eventually break through, leading to a stoppage victory this time around.
But now they know Ankalaev's going to close that gap. I know Ankalaev says he's going to strike with him. I don't think that's a great idea. I really don't think that's a good idea. But yeah, I really don't see this fight going the distance this time. But I'm putting my money on Pereira to claim the title. I have to go with him.
And then there was Israel Adesanya, who offered one of the most passionate takes. Having faced Pereira himself, Adesanya understood the mindset of a fighter chasing redemption. He argued that Pereira entered this rematch with something to prove. The sting of losing the first fight, Adesanya said, would fuel a different level of hunger and focus.
I like this fight. I think Alex will be more prepared for this fight. He's more motivated. He hasn't lost that light heavyweight and had that fire where it's like, man, I got to get this back. It's something different we want to get back. So for this fight, I'm gonna go Alex Pereira. I don't know if he finishes Magomed because I've never seen Magomed finish. But I don't. It's not gonna be an easy fight. It's not going to be an easy fight.
Adesanya admitted that Ankalaev had exposed gaps in Pereira's game, but he firmly believed Pereira had learned from those mistakes. For him, the X factor was Pereira's motivation, the kind of fire that could only come from defeat. Adesanya's pick was clear. Pereira would win, grinding out a hard-fought decision to reclaim his pride.
Based on the first fight from what I've seen, Alex will have to gain Magomed's respect heavily straight away for it to be a finish.
Take away his confidence that he got from
exactly from the last fight. Just shut down that confidence. I understand it. I've done it before. Did I do it to Alex? Yeah, I've done it to Alex before as well. It's easier said than done. But I think Alex can do it. So yeah, I'm going to go Huatan by UD in this fight.
The experts had been split down the middle. On one hand, Bisping and Volkanovski believed in Ankalaev's intelligence, versatility, and ability to shut Pereira down again. On the other, Johnson and du Plessis backed Pereira's adjustments and knockout power. Hill sat on the fence, calling the fight unpredictable, while Adesanya threw his weight fully behind Pereira.
After all that, who do I have winning in the rematch? Ankalaev taking on Alex Pereira. I'm gonna go with Alex Pereira. The reason why is because I felt in the first fight, I felt Alex Pereira just didn't have an answer for the rhythm that Ankalaev was doing. But after seeing some videos of Alex Pereira, I think he's refreshed. I felt when he fought Ankalaev, he was just going banger after banger after banger after banger. I think sometimes the athlete that can wear you out, it could extinguish the fire. And I think now that he's had a lot of rest, he's been able to, enjoy the fruits of his labor of all that money he's made.
This division among analysts only heightened the anticipation heading into UFC 320. The storyline was rich. Pereira, the knockout artist with a kickboxing legacy and an aura of danger, versus Ankalaev, the disciplined southpaw blending wrestling with technical striking. It was a clash of styles, strategies, and mentalities.
So who wins? You didn't really give us a prediction here.
It's hard to go up against Unk time, but I feel like this is a different Pereira, bro. I'm kind of swinging Pereira, but I'm gonna put it with Ankalaev, man. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Alex Pereira, he's got to be more aggressive than he was that first fight. And by him being a lot more aggressive, he's gonna leave those openings, and I think Magomed Ankalaev might land something significant. So I do think Ankalaev walks away with the belt and still.
Alex Pereira fought a lot closer to the cage, bro. For Magomed, he's gonna have to get those takedowns. He has to do it early, and he's gonna have to do it in the center. And for Alex Pereira, if he can make his leg, his left as good as his right, it could be a different fight.
Fans knew Pereira had the power to change the fight with a single strike. They also knew Ankalaev had the composure and discipline to neutralize that danger over 5 rounds. The uncertainty of which path the fight would follow is what made the rematch so compelling.
He's going to lose another fight. Now, I believe to a certain degree for Magomed Ankalaev, the aura of Alex Pereira has gone. He now knows this man's human. I can beat him. I've taken his best shots. I can take him down. I beat him once before and I'll beat him again. And that's why we've seen Alex Pereira coming out and talking shit and saying that it was hiding from him and all the rest of it, because there's a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Alex Pereira.
Aí o cara fala para dessa se escondendo, velho. É um cuzão, velho, cara, velho.
Not pressure in terms of his lifestyle, not in terms of money, not in terms of his legacy, because that's all set. He's had a great career, but he wants to beat this guy, okay? And I think there's a little bit where Ankalaev is in his head. He's like, this guy's as big as me. He's stronger than me. He's a better wrestler than me. He might even hit harder than me, and he just beat me.
And when Fight Night finally arrived, all those predictions, strategies, and debates hung in the air as both men walked to the cage. One represented raw power and redemption. The other represented calculation, discipline, and dominance. The world watched, divided in opinion, but united in anticipation.
I see it the same way. I'm going to go Magomed Ankalaev, unanimous decision. The fight will look similar to what we saw in the first match. I think Pereira will bring a little bit more pressure early on, but if he's met with a lot of obstacles and difficulty trying to get inside and find his big shots, he might revert back to the ways of his old fighting and just look for that power hook. But I don't see it having the same success on Ankalaev. I think you really got to get creative if you're going to beat a guy like Ank. Think about his only loss in his career, Paul Craig's heel hook.
You sure about that?
It's got to be something out of the ordinary to get Magomed out there. I don't see Magomed sitting in the pocket long enough for Pereira to land a big shot or land a barrage of punches. We just don't see Dagestani fighters engage in that sort of fight all that much, which makes me feel like even if he does get cracked, he's either going to evade or he's going to look to be even more tenacious with his takedowns.
When the octagon doors closed, it was no longer about predictions. It was about execution. One man would rise and one man would fall. And UFC 320 gave fans exactly what they had hoped for. A battle that lived up to the hype and delivered a spectacle that will be remembered for years. For more Fight Night drama and expert breakdowns, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Ring Rivalry, where every battle tells its story.